Hey guys, I'm here from iTech224 with an HTC One camera test. This is going to be testing the front-facing camera, which you are seeing right now, the rear-facing camera, and I'll throw in some stills as well just to show you guys how those look. Now this is the front-facing camera, which is a 2.1 megapixel 1080p recording camera, which I think is pretty awesome for a front-facing camera, and it looks pretty good. It's very sharp, but I do have to say in this situation at least, it is way too saturated. My shirt is not this blue. It's actually quite a dull blue shirt, but it looks very vibrant and blue, and all this green just looks, my skin tone, it just looks way too saturated, and I have looked at it on the computer, and it does look, it's too saturated. So I'm not sure if it's just this situation, but I do have to say for this video in particular, it is a little too saturated for a front-facing camera, or for a camera in general. Now here we are recording with the rear-facing camera. So this is a 4 megapixel Ultrapixel camera, as HTC likes to call it. And basically all that means is that instead of playing the megapixel race like everyone else is doing and jamming as many megapixels into a sensor as possible, they decided we'll just leave it at 4 megapixels, and instead of making really tiny pixels on a sensor like a 13 megapixel would, we're going to make them really big pixels that'll only have 4 megapixels, if that makes sense. So you're going to get a lot more light captured because the pixels are bigger, which means, in theory, these are going to give you better images. And for the most part, I do have to say it is a very good performer. It is 4 megapixels, like I said, and there are situations where you can definitely tell that the resolution is low, but for the most part, that's not a big deal. I'll throw in some stills here so you can actually see what stills look like, and the stills look pretty good. Like I said, 4 megapixel ultra pixel camera, so it does a very good job in terms of low light capabilities. Here outside it does very well, obviously because there's plenty of light. Coming back to video here, you can see how nice this looks. I think it looks actually very nice, especially for a phone camera. And it's one of the best I've ever seen, even though it does have that low megapixel count. But because it's 1080p, that means you're not even nearing 4 megapixels, so this is still full resolution, which is nice. And I'm really pretty impressed with the way video looks on this camera so far. So you can see how it adjusts here, adjusts to a bright sky, and, well, gotta get the focusing there. There we go, focused in, then adjust down to a dark area, and it's very nice. So we're gonna go ahead and move inside and go into some low light tests. Alright, so now we are here inside in my kitchen, and it is only being lit by this one window and that door and this other window over here, which seems like a lot, but there's actually not very much light coming in here. And I'm actually very impressed with this shot because it does look a tad bit better than what I'm actually seeing with my own eyes. So it does look a little bit brighter, and it looks really nice for a low light test here. So this is the back facing camera, and this is in my kitchen. So just showing you guys a little bit of low light, and we're gonna go into a really low light situation to show you a little bit about what this camera can do. Alright, so now we are in a very dark room, and the lights are actually dimmable in here, and it's about one tick above being completely dark in here. So there's not very much light available, and this camera is still picking up details. So you can see the chair here. If I move it over here, it's going to try to adjust and get some light out of there. And there it goes. It's kind of picking up, but it just can't quite do it. But for the most part, it's doing a very good job. I'm going to cycle through some more pictures I've taken on this camera right now. I'm going to tell you guys why this low light capability really doesn't matter all that much. And so yes, it can pick up a lot more light than the iPhone 5 or the Lumia 920, which are the best cameras on the market right now in terms of a phone. But when it can get to that point where the iPhone 5 and the Lumia 920 can't pick up any more light, the point where this camera can still pick up light means that the pictures aren't really going to be usable. So you're going to see this picture right now that I'm showing, and you can see that, yes, you can make out what it is, but it's not really a usable picture. You're not going to be able to print this. You're not going to be able to, you're really not going to want to use this other than for like testing purposes or emergency purposes. So yes, it's still impressive that you can do it, but for me, it's not really too useful. Alright, so that's it for the HTC One camera test. Remember that none of this is edited in terms of color correction or any of that kind of stuff, and the audio is coming straight off the device as well, so keep that in mind. The audio on this camera is stellar. It works extremely well, and it sounds great. So this is the front-facing camera you're seeing right now, and leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, if you liked the test, and let me know in the comments below what you think about the camera. Do you think it's a good concept that they pulled off? Or do you think it's kind of stupid and they should just keep raising the megapixels like everyone else? Let me know in the comments below. Again, like if you did, and I'll see you guys in my next video.